We going.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's food.
They're labeling this the heist of the century, the most controversial night T-Mobile Arena has ever witnessed. And anyone who caught Joe Rogan's live reaction during that second round knows exactly why the main event at UFC reeks of something rotten. According to the official records, Justin Gaethje claimed victory over Paddy Pimblett via unanimous decision, securing the interim lightweight title. The scorecards read 48-46, but those numbers don't tell the real story. What we're about to uncover is the shocking corruption, the blatant cheating, and the questionable refereeing that gifted Gaethje a win he might not have legitimately earned. Did they rig this fight because the new Paramount Plus partnership needed an American champion to launch their streaming era? And how did referee Mark Goddard completely ignore what might be the most obvious foul in title fight history? We're diving deep into the conspiracy that's dominating social media right now. The bribery claims, the illegal eye strike that left Paddy half blind, and scorecards that make zero sense when you actually watch the fight. Even if you think the decision was legit, stick around because the evidence we've gathered proves Paddy the Baddy didn't just lose a fight. He walked straight into an ambush.
Obviously delivered in the main event, capped off with a war. Just give us your thoughts on Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett delivering a 5-round battle.
Yeah, I mean, what a couple. So Paddy Pimblett at the weigh-ins yesterday says, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out tomorrow. And I was like, that's interesting. And he never abandoned that game plan. Even when, you know, he got dropped a couple times, I kept waiting for him. I'm like, he's eventually going to have to shoot and try to submit him. Now, you know, I didn't know Paddy Pimblett had a chin like that till tonight. And yeah, absolute dogfight and a war, and much respect to both guys.
We haven't seen Justin yet, so we don't know what his status is physically. But I mean, is the interim, you know, is the unification fight have to be next, or is there a case if he's hurt and needs to be out for a while?
Apparently he's 100%. So we sent Paddy Pimblett straight to the hospital, and then we're going to send Gaethje too. And Gaethje's like, believe me, I've been in plenty of wars. I'm good. So as far as we know right now, he's healthy.
Dana, I remember when Paddy first arrived in the UFC, you were saying stuff like, well, his entrance is good and it's all well and good to get the fans, but he needs to be able to fight. Obviously, we've seen him have great wins before, but to show the durability he had in that fight tonight, do you feel like even though he lost, he will be considered one of the best in that division moving forward?
No doubt about it. I mean, he was the favorite tonight. I think that's what fucked him. Every other one, he's the underdog and everybody thinks he's going to lose. Tonight, he's the favorite. I don't think that his game plan was the greatest. Obviously, tonight he showed he is tough, he is durable, and almost impossible. I mean, especially against Gaethje. And you're eating those punches from him. You know, it's one thing to say, listen, I'm going to come out. I know I believe in my durability. I believe in my chin, and I'm going to go toe-to-toe with this guy. But when it starts to not work, at some point you got to say, you know what? It's the third round. I got 2 rounds left.
Now let's rewind to the exact moment everything changed. Second round. Before this happened, Paddy Pimblett was absolutely stunning everyone. He'd survived Gaethje's early assault, absorbed those brutal leg kicks, and was starting to connect with his jab consistently. The energy in the building was electric because this hype train actually looked like it had real skill behind the marketing. Then disaster struck. During a heated exchange, Justin Gaethje launches a left hook, but check out the slow motion footage. Look closely at that thumb. His fist wasn't closed. That thumb drove straight into Paddy Pimblett's right eye socket. It went deep, it was vicious, and Joe Rogan caught it instantly. You can actually hear the alarm in Rogan's commentary. He screamed, "That is insane," because that absolutely destroyed that eye. That thumb went deep into the socket. On any other night, with any other referee, the action stops immediately. Timeout gets called. The doctor examines the fighter. Maybe even a point deduction happens. Don't forget, Goddard had already cautioned Gaethje about extended fingers earlier, but Mark Goddard's response? Absolutely nothing. He allowed the fight to continue while Paddy was blinking frantically, obviously compromised on his right side. Gaethje's reaction, like a predator sensing weakness, he instantly attacked that compromised side with a massive overhand right that completely shifted the momentum. This is exactly where these corruption theories are gaining steam. How does an experienced referee completely miss such an obvious foul, especially after giving a prior warning? Were there behind-the-scenes instructions to keep things moving for the streaming debut? These questions demand answers because that illegal strike was the game changer. Before that thumb connected, Paddy was controlling the exchanges. After that thumb, he was essentially fighting blind on one side. That's not competition, that's legalized assault.
I really wanted to finish him, but I loved teaching him a lot. He said my face was not going to look the same after the fight, and his would look the exact same. So as soon as it was over, I was like, well, look at your face, motherfucker. It does not look the same. So for him to, and he's going to learn from this. You cannot have that mentality when you come in there. He needs to accept the worst possible outcome, and that's how you perform the best, when the pressure's the highest. You have to learn these lessons. Again, his mindset going into that fight was not good. It's not how you cannot do that like this. False confidence is terrible. It'll kill you every time. And that's what he had.
Then we need to examine those scorecards. This is where the fixed fight theory really explodes. When Bruce Buffer announced those scores 48-47, 49-46, and 49-46, even the celebrity row looked completely baffled. 49-46. Seriously, that scorecard suggests Justin Gaethje dominated 4 out of 5 rounds. What fight were these judges actually watching? Even hardcore Gaethje supporters on social media admitted Paddy clearly took rounds 3 and 5. He outstruck Gaethje significantly in the 3rd and nearly dropped him in the final moments of the 5th. So where do 4 rounds for Gaethje come from? It screams predetermined outcome, like those judges had their scorecards filled out before the opening bell. This is the kind of hometown cooking that destroyed boxing's credibility, and now it's poisoning mixed martial arts. Consider the bigger picture here. This was Paramount Plus's first major UFC showcase. The promotion desperately needs American subscribers. From a marketing perspective, who sells better to mainstream America? The unpredictable, sometimes offensive scouser who might create PR nightmares, or the flag-waving all-American warrior like Justin Gaethje? It's completely reasonable to suspect the decision-makers preferred a Gaethje victory to stabilize their business model. When you see that 49-46 scorecard, it looks less like judging incompetence and more like corporate insurance. They guaranteed that regardless of Paddy's performance, he wouldn't leave Vegas with championship gold.
That I'm glad it's over and I never want to do it again. I'm like, the fans don't ever ask for a rematch or anything like that, because that would have never. I'm like, I'm glad. He's unique, man, and he's one of my favorite guys to watch. So like, but if you want to beat Justin Gaethje, you have to. So he's a forward fighter and a pressure fighter that he will stand in the pocket, and he's gonna throw everything he got in that pocket. If you don't meet him, you'll get chewed up. So Paddy, the way to beat a guy who like does this, very violent, aggressive pressure fighter, you have to meet him. You have to throw when he throws. So you got to be brave, and you have to go when he goes in between his shots. If you do that, you got a fair shot. If you don't do that, if you're not brave and courageous and throw when he throws in between his shots, it's going to be a really long night. It's going to be a hard night for you.
Let's examine the bribery allegations that are absolutely exploding across Reddit and Twitter. There's video footage showing Justin Gaethje's corner having an extended conversation with an official before the opening bell. Sure, this might be completely innocent pre-fight protocol, but given everything that followed, the ignored fouls and biased scoring, fans are scrutinizing every detail. Justin Gaethje built his reputation as the human highlight reel, but Saturday night he fought like a seasoned cheater. He deployed veteran dirty tactics that crossed into illegal territory. Those headbutts during clinch work, completely ignored. The repeated eye pokes, no consequences whatsoever. Grabbing the cage to defend Paddy's takedown attempt in round 4. Referee looked the other way when only one fighter gets to bend the rules while the other gets penalized for breathing wrong. You're watching a scripted outcome. Check out Paddy's body language too. Usually when Paddy wins a controversial decision like that Jared Gordon fight, he's absolutely furious and defiant. He screams about robbery and demands recognition, but Saturday night he looked completely deflated before Buffer even opened the scorecards. He understood the situation. You could read it in his posture and facial expression. He realized he wasn't just fighting Justin Gaethje, he was battling the entire system, the judges, and the predetermined narrative. Even Joe Rogan, who typically maintains broadcast neutrality, couldn't mask his shock at the complete lack of point deduction when your own commentary team is practically pleading with the referee to enforce basic rules. The corruption becomes undeniable.
Paddy's not bad, dude. Paddy's not bad. He's very beatable, and Gaethje's very beatable as well. But when it goes into the passion and how upsetting Justin Gaethje has always been about not getting that real title shot, and they just keep dangling it right there again. Paddy's in for a new treat, right? Paddy's the one that's never fought for a belt. He's going in there. He's going to be trying to, get that stuff. He's going to feel a little bit more fresher. He's going to have that little bit of excitedness.
Don't overlook the doctor situation either. After that first eye poke in round 1, the cage-side physician entered for his examination. He spent maybe 3 seconds looking at Paddy's damaged eye. No thorough flashlight vision test. No detailed questions about impaired sight. Just a quick wipe and immediate clearance to continue fighting. Compare this to other UFC events where doctors have stopped entire fights over minor facial cuts. Paddy's eye was visibly swelling and his vision was clearly compromised, yet he got instant medical clearance. What explains this rushed evaluation? Why skip proper medical protocols? Because the UFC absolutely could not afford their massive UFC main event ending in a no-contest ruling. They demanded a definitive result for their streaming partners. They needed highlight reel footage for promotional packages, and they were perfectly willing to gamble with Paddy's long-term eye health to deliver entertainment value. This represents the sport's darkest reality that promoters refuse to acknowledge. Commercial interest trumped fighter safety and competitive integrity. Justin Gaethje didn't demolish Paddy Pimblett through superior skill. He survived with crucial assistance from a complicit referee and 3 incompetent judges sitting ringside.
If he gets it done, it's because Justin's just so shot. He's been in so many wars, he's been around the company so long, and that knockout to Max Holloway, he just hasn't recovered from. So if he gets to win that, then yeah, there. But this is seems like a smash spot. Like if I was able to bet fighting, which we're not allowed to because the feds got involved because that moron coach James Krause screwed it up for all of us. But this seems like a smash spot on Gaethje because everybody's on and all the public is driving the money line for Paddy Pimblett to be the favorite. But I think Justin's still a tough dog, and he's going to come out there and give his all, and he doesn't want to lose this fight. This could be his last fight if he loses. So, I think he's going to put Paddy to the test, and, Paddy, usually has to control the wrestling aspect, put guys to the ground to get his submission and to get his striking game working. So, I don't know. Justin's shot on one hand. They're trying to give him an easy win on a silver platter to Paddy to build him up. He's got a little bowl cut and a little mouth, and they think he's the next star. So, I don't know. It's a tough fight to judge. How much is left in the tank for Justin versus a guy that's absolute nobody that hasn't actually accomplished anything in the sport yet. We shall.
Finally, let's analyze that post-fight interview. Justin Gaethje held the interim title, but he didn't carry himself like a conquering champion. He looked relieved, almost guilty, like someone who just barely escaped prosecution for a major crime. He completely avoided discussing the eye poke controversy, immediately pivoting to potential matchups with Ilia Topuria. Why dodge the obvious topic? Because deep down, he knows the truth. He understands his victory carries a permanent asterisk. He realizes that 10 clean rematches might produce completely different outcomes, and the global audience recognizes this reality too. Listen carefully to the crowd's reaction during Gaethje's victory speech. Yes, there were cheers from his supporters, but equally loud boos echoed throughout the arena. The T-Mobile crowd isn't naive or easily fooled. They watch those instant replays on the giant screens. They witnessed the illegal thumb strike. They recognized the injustice playing out live. Paddy Pimblett might be a divisive personality. You might despise his antics, his appearance, or his attitude, but Saturday night he displayed genuine warrior spirit. He battled 3+ rounds with severely compromised vision against the division's most dangerous knockout artist, and still managed to win multiple rounds. That gutsy performance deserved respect and recognition, not a systematic robbery via corrupt scorecard. So what comes next in this controversy? The UFC will absolutely try burying the scandal immediately. Dana White will emerge at press conferences, saying fighters shouldn't leave results to the judges. He'll dismiss legitimate concerns as typical post-fight whining, but we cannot allow this injustice to fade quietly. We must demand complete transparency and accountability. We need those judges' scorecards broken down and explained round by round in detail. We deserve a comprehensive explanation from Mark Goddard about when exactly eye gouging became legal in professional mixed martial arts. This controversy extends far beyond Paddy Pimblett's personal career aspirations. This is about preserving the fundamental integrity of our beloved sport. If match outcomes can be manipulated this obviously, if blatant rule violations get completely ignored by officials, then what exactly are we watching as fans? Are we witnessing legitimate athletic competition or elaborate sports entertainment theater? Justin Gaethje holds that interim championship today, but millions of fans worldwide view that belt as worthless fool's gold. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Was that eye poke completely intentional? Do those 49-46 scorecards prove systematic corruption exists? Did Joe Rogan's live commentary shape your perception of the fight? Tell me whether Paddy deserves an immediate rematch opportunity, or if the UFC will just advance to Gaethje versus Topuria while pretending this robbery never occurred. Smash that like button, share this with every UFC fan you know, and subscribe because we're gonna keep investigating this story until the complete truth emerges. The entire world is watching UFC. You cannot hide the slow motion replay footage. You cannot hide that illegal thumb strike, and you absolutely cannot hide the truth forever. Justice for Paddy.